daily Bitcoin pod. Make some noise in that live chat. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as Bitcoin recaptured $34,000 and breaking out like a mofo. Also quoting Max Kaiser, the high priest of Bitcoin. I'll be back on Alex Jones later this week with a quiz. And if he can answer all 5 questions correctly, he'll get 10,000 Bitcoin. Also breaking news, Mexican billionaire Ricardo Salinas advocates Bitcoin for wealth protection, says people need to realize that they are being robbed. And in fact, with the recent Bitcoin price pump, his net worth is now close to $14 billion. Also in today's show, Binance and CZ renew calls to dismiss the CFTC lawsuit, as well as BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF is now listed on the Nasdaq trade clearing firm, according to Bloomberg analysts. Also, check it out. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 reasons that a Bitcoin spot ETF might receive approval as early as this week, and what that would mean and look like for the crypto community, as well as U.S. court issues a mandate for Grayscale ruling, paving the way for the SEC to review the spot Bitcoin ETF. I'm also going to be sharing that the spot Bitcoin ETF can send the Bitcoin price skyrocketing parabolic by over 3,200%. I'll be breaking down this latest timeline. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And if you're just joining us, you know what to do. Smash that like button as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And make sure to subscribe to the channel to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And everyone who subscribes to the show during this live broadcast, you're going to get a shout out live on the screen, just like David Roberts. So congratulations on subscribing to Crypto News Alerts, the daily pod. Also, massive shout out to João Roberto. I appreciate the support, fam. Now let's actually take a look at our live chat. Massive shout out to everyone out there. Make sure to say hello. As you know, this is a live and interactive show. We do a live Q&A session towards the end of the episode. Shout out to Will Stopson versus Guru. Shout out to Chris D. Shout out to Corey Graham, Squirrel Bait, Bitcoin Maximus. Shout out to our moderators. Shout out to Digital Dankness. Shout out to Jack Jeong, McLovin, Elmer, and the rest of the crew. I appreciate each and every one of you. Yesterday was the most epic parabolic rally for Bitcoin. I mean, we surged. During the live, we were surging, hitting new annual high, I think 32,000, but we kept, even when the live finished, we climbed as high as 35,000, which is the new local high for the year. So I couldn't be more bullish. I mean, this is the moment we have all been waiting for. Congratulations to all the Bitcoin hodlers. Shout out to Mick Carbon. Shout out to Nathan Roth. Shout out to Ron P. God bless. Shout out to Relaxing Meditation Music and the rest of the entire crypto fam. Let's freaking go. But yeah, welcome everyone. This is pod episode number 1440. I'm your host JV, and today is October 24th, 2023. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. We got Bitcoin consolidating a little after like a 20% pump on the day, but we're still up 7.5% for the past 24 hours, trading at 33,700. We have Ether in the green, trading at almost 1,800, along with BNB, XRP, Cardano, Solana, all in the green. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're sitting at a $1.25 trillion market cap, meaning we surged $250 billion in the past couple of days. Not too shabby. And in the past 24 hours, there's 97 billion in volume, meaning the volume has almost doubled, with the Bitcoin dominance reaching a new high for the past couple of years as well, now at 53% even, as that dominance continues marching north, with the Ether dominance on the decline at 17.2%. My question for all of you, how high do you think the Bitcoin Dom is likely to climb for this bull? Let me know. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got Mina up a whopping 50%, trading at 69 cents, followed by Conflux up 35%, trading above 15 cents, followed by Pepe up almost 19%, followed by Injective and DYDX. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past week, massive sea of green, which we love to see. Some of these alts are up literally 50% on the week, such as Mina, and we got CFX up literally 35%. Not too shabby. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, finally, sign of the times, we're finally back in the greed with a 66. Yesterday was a 53, last week a 52, and last month a 44 in fear. So there you have it, crypto fam. How many of you are bullish as I am? And how many of you took advantage of that dip before we started pumping parabolic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. Now let's break down today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts of where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. Make sure to give a shout out to our mascot Nipsey, which you can see in the background as well, just chilling like a villain. Anyways, fam, here we go. Today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Bitcoin currently battling to hold on to 34,000 level after the stellar rally and short squeeze saw the Bitcoin price above 35,000 yesterday, October 23rd. In an October 24th update, Capriole Investments founder Charles Edwards noted that after 7 months of consolidation, Bitcoin's upward move melted right through that 32,000 resistance like butter. He expects that the upcoming monthly resistance is unlikely to be a hurdle. Quoting him here, it would make sense to see either a rapid continuation to the mid-range, 43,000, or a short-term consolidation between the support resistance at 32 to 35,000 before a continuation. He also shared successive daily closes above the 31,700 level would be notable, as daily or weekly higher candles above this level puts the price above the key pivot point and enters territory we have not seen since May of 2022. And regarding the catalyst for this week's big price moves, Edwards agrees that the recent fervor over what looks like to be sooner than later SEC approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF is contributing to the rally, but he also cites a handful of other near-term factors. Now, Layer 2 Labs founder Paul Sort occurred saying, I think we are seeing meaningful inklings of broader decoupling of Bitcoin from the equities, and this divergence of sorts has taken a lot of market participants by surprise. Now, potential concerns related to the foreign conflict and rising macroeconomic uncertainty, expectations amongst traders have been focused on the forthcoming dip that ultimately did not materialize. A lot of you got caught sitting on the sidelines, right? Now, he also explained that during the U.S. regional banking crisis, the market underwent a similar divergence, resulting in Bitcoin outperforming then as well. And guess what? Bitcoin is now officially up over 100% since the start of the year. So history has shown us October still in full effect, right? Now, this analyst believes the bulk of the recent divergent price action is that a lot of the traders and investors are now accumulating ahead of that event. Quoting him here, I also think there's expectations that the Federal Reserve will likely have to start easing the monetary policy soon because of the issue of rapidly rising yields. More specifically, traders are probably anticipating this easing by the way of the Fed having to revert some of their yield curve control, and of the consequences of which tends to be monetary debasement. Now let's discuss CME Bitcoin open interest surpassing 100,000 BTC, which is another big deal. Further proof that the institutional investors are warming up to Bitcoin and the idea that a spot Bitcoin ETF will be approved comes from the CME, where Bitcoin open interest hit a new record above 100,000 BTC. Beyond the bear price speculation, the takeaway here is that if the institutional investors are accumulating the spot Bitcoin, they need to hedge this position, hence the surge in volumes and open interest seen at the CME and other places. As the analyst shares here, CME Bitcoin futures open interest breached 100,000 BTC for the first time ever, while offshore perp open interest shrank by 26,735 BTC. Yesterday, the CME's open interest grew by 4,380. Now, I want to point something out, which is probably common sense to a lot of you, but we know currently there's less than 2 million Bitcoin on the exchanges. And for the major institutions to be prepared to launch their ETFs, they have to be holding on to the underlying asset. So you have asset managers worth north of $20 trillion all trying to get their hands on millions of Bitcoin, which are currently not available. This is a part of the reason the price is starting to pump. They're buying their bags. They need to be holding on to the underlying asset. Only Grayscale is the one that currently holds over 600,000 BTC. So think about the millions of people who are interested in Bitcoin that don't own any Bitcoin, but once the ETF gets the approval, they want in. This alone, fam, can send a supply shock, sending the Bitcoin price north of $100,000. Anything is possible, so be prepared and expect the unexpected. I truly mean that. Now, let me know your thoughts on Bitcoin right now. Max Kaiser shared an update here. I'll be back on the Alex Jones Show later in the week with a quiz. If he can answer all 5 questions correctly, he gets his 10,000 Bitcoin. And if you don't know the infamous story with Max Kaiser and Alex Jones, many years back, Alex Jones invited Max Kaiser on his show InfoWars, and Max Kaiser gifted him 10,000 Bitcoin. Alex Jones claims he lost all of the Bitcoin on a laptop, so Max is has given him another opportunity to win, this time 10,000 Bitcoin. That will be interesting. I'm looking forward to Max Kaiser on Alex Jones, two of my favorite people, so I cannot wait. And shout out to everyone just joining us. We have a lit show in store for you, so we shall continue with our next breaking story of the day, and that is the Mexican billionaire, considered the third richest in Mexico, maybe potentially even richer now, that his net worth is now estimated to be roughly $14 billion, as the majority of his portfolio is in Bitcoin, and it's paying its weight in gold, pun intended. Anyways, fam, here's the latest from Ricardo Salinas, the third richest man in Mexico, who was recently interviewed. Now, chairman of Grupo Salinas discussed how Bitcoin can affect the economy, particularly in Latin America, in a new interview with Bitcoin Magazine. Quoting him here, all over the world, not just Mexico or Latin America, what we are seeing is the increasing inflation tax, which means that the people's savings are being taken away from them without their permission, without their knowledge, and it is very sad, especially for people who depend on this for their retirement. Preach. Truth bombs. I love it. He also shared that so Bitcoin is a way to protect against that because it cannot be debased. That's right. He also says the importance of Bitcoin is that it's tax resistant and many other things, but very specifically applied to hyperinflationary economies, which we have seen several times in Latin America, according to Salinas. And when asked about what needs to happen in Mexico for mass Bitcoin adoption, Salinas replied, the first thing that needs to happen is people need to realize they're being scammed and that they are being robbed by these crooks and the government. Preach. He stressed that's what they are. They are fraudsters. They commit fraud and they stand there and they say, how are we doing monetary policy? And they are just stealing people blind. 100% agree there. Let me know if you guys agree. The billionaire emphasized, so first thing that needs to happen is people need to understand how this works so they can then defend against that. But these Gobernicolas, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. These government cavemen, as I call them, they are not dumb and they are not stupid and they are not going to give away this power they have to confiscate people's wealth. So you got to take it from them. He opined the following, I think everybody would benefit from understanding that the debasement of currency is a very useful trick in the fraudster's trick book to avoid raising taxes or debt. That's right. Inflation is the tax on the poor, and that's why the middle class is clearly disappearing in real time. Now, regarding how a Bitcoin ETF will affect Bitcoin, here's what he shared. Obviously, an ETF is a new source of demand. It makes it easier for the people to invest into Bitcoin. That's great. It is what is needed, but precisely because it's great and what's needed, it's precisely because of that reason that the crooks in power don't allow it to proceed. Yeah, that's what's up. No, he noted the chairman of the US SEC, Gary Gensler, knows exactly what we are talking about. The billionaire concluded, I agree 100%. Here's what he shared. He, Gary Gensler, has very good reasons not to allow, as well as the people in the Treasury and the Fed. They all know perfectly well it's not about protecting the investors. It's about protecting their way of financing government spending without raising taxes. Preach. And shout out to Salinas for preaching the truth and calling out Mr. Gary Gensler for his unlawful activity as the chairman of the SEC with purposely not allowing any spot Bitcoin ETFs since he took office several years ago, and just continuing to push back, because they know without a shadow of a doubt, spot Bitcoin ETF gets the approval, Bitcoin's immediately going to march north, new all-time highs, price discovery mode, multiple six figures, and they're not going to be able to hold it back. Bitcoin spot ETF represents true price discovery in a market such as ETFs, which has never existed before. There has never been true price discovery in an ETF market because, for example, precious metal markets such as silver and gold, they're manipulated, nothing new under the sun. So Bitcoin changes the entire game with incorruptible money. Gary Gensler knows this. The fraudsters over on Wall Street, the central banking cartels, they all know this. So again, much respect to Ricardo Salinas for speaking the truth. Next up, we're going to discuss the latest with the Binance CEO, the largest crypto exchange in the world and considered the richest in crypto, with his lawsuit versus the CFTC. Let's break this down, and shout out to everyone just joining us in the live chat. Make sure to say hello, as this is a live and interactive show. I'll shout you out in a little bit. Lawyers representing Binance and CEO Xingping Zhao have filed statements in support of a motion to dismiss a lawsuit filed by the CFTC. In an October 23rd filing in the U.S. District Court of Northern District of Illinois, CZ and Bitcoin's attorney made several legal claims arguing for the dismissal of the CFTC's case against the crypto exchange. And according to legal terms, the regulator regulator's arguments, if accepted by the court, would allow it to regulate any activity in crypto related to derivative products across the globe. Quoting them here, Congress did not make the CFTC the world's derivative police, and the court should reject the agency's effort to expand its territorial reach beyond what is permitted by the law, according to the SEC filing, which you can see here on your screen. Now, Binance and CZ's lawyer also went after each of the individual counts brought up by the CFTC, arguing the regulator was pursuing a novel theory in an anti-evasion claim and failed to meet the standards for others. The attorneys called on the court to dismiss the complaint with prejudice. Now, the CFTC lawsuit, first filed back in March, alleged that Binance failed to register with the regulator in violation of rules of derivatives trading. And according to the CFTC, CZ was aware Binance had solicited customers based in the United States, I guess via Binance.us, right? Requiring the exchange to be in compliance with regulatory requirements. Now, since Binance lawyers made a similar filing in July for dismissing the case, arguing at that time the CFTC exceeded its regulatory authority, and the crypto exchange also faces a lawsuit from the U.S. SEC, which was filed in June. So there you have it, fam. How do you think it will likely play out for the SEC versus Binance and CZ? Do you think they'll take another big fat L as they have been recently in courts? Let us know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And my question for you, out of all the centralized crypto exchanges in the world, which ones do you trust? Which are your go-to? Which do you use most commonly? Obviously, Coinbase being the largest in the United States and Binance being the largest in the entire globe. Now let's break down the latest of what's happening with BlackRock, which I know is currently on everyone's mind right now regarding the spot Bitcoin ETF. So let's break down the latest BlackRock news, shall we? The iShares Spot Bitcoin ETF proposed by investment firm BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager in the world, has been listed on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, which is the DTCC, suggesting potential approval by the United States SEC. However, this morning, or I should say this afternoon, right before going live, it was removed from their website. Do they know this may have been a part of the reason we started pumping like a mofo and now they remove it to try to calm down the investors? What are your thoughts, fam? I just figure I'd point that out. Now, October 23rd, yesterday, Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas said the DTCC listing was all a part of the process of bringing crypto to the ETF market. The iShares Spot Bitcoin ETF has a ticker symbol, which is IBTC, for a possible listing on the Nasdaq stock exchange, applying to list the trade and shares of the investment vehicle in June. Quoting Balchunas here, this is the first spot Bitcoin ETF listed on the DTCC. None of the others are there yet. Now, definitely notable, BlackRock is leading the charge on these logistics, including seeding, ticker, and DTCC. That tends to happen just prior to launch. Hard not to view this as them giving the signal that approval is certain and imminent. So you already know, spot Bitcoin ETF coming. No one can hold that back any further, including the chairman of the SEC. No clarity, Gary Gensler. Now, Balchunas speculated that BlackRock may have already received the green light for the listing, the ETF from the SEC, or was prepping everything, assuming so. And based on the date of BlackRock's app, the SEC had until January 10th. So mark that date on your calendar, January 10th of next year, to reach the final decision on the approval or denial of the ETF. Now, should BlackRock's application be approved, it could lead to the floodgates opening for a number of spot Bitcoin ETF filings currently under review by the SEC, including ones from ARK Investment, Fidelity, Valkyrie, and the list goes on and on. There's about a dozen of them, fam. And to date, the SEC has not approved the spot Bitcoin or Ethereum application for a listing on the U.S. exchange, but started allowing investment vehicles tied to Bitcoin futures back in October of 2021. Interesting. They allow futures ETFs, which can be manipulated through derivatives, but not the real thing, and they pretend they're here to protect investors. F you, SEC. Just speaking on behalf of the fam. Anyways, the BTCC listing followed a U.S. appeal court issuing a mandate enforcing an August 29th decision that would require the SEC to review a spot Bitcoin ETF app from Grayscale Investments, which we're going to be covering here shortly. Grayscale submitted a registration statement to the SEC to list its shares of its Bitcoin trust on the New York York Stock Exchange ARCA under the ticker symbol GBTC just recently on October 19th. Now for 3 reasons why a Bitcoin spot ETF might receive approval as early as this week, right? How many times I've been telling you to expect the unexpected? Here's why. Number 1, an SEC commissioner has publicly acknowledged errors in handling crypto matters. Facts. Number 2, BlackRock is allocating funds to seed ETFs this month. Facts. That's probably why we're pumping the way we are. They're buying up the Bitcoin they need to be holding on to offer the ETF. And number 3, BlackRock's IBTC has been registered on the DTCC. So let's open the floodgates and let's freaking go. So there you have it, fam. Let me know how bullish you are for this spot Bitcoin ETF, and do you think it'll be BlackRock to be the first to get the green light from the SEC? Let me know your thoughts, fam, and I'll be reading all those out loud here in just a little bit. But next up, we're going to be talking about Grayscale. We know GBTC is the largest Bitcoin hodler in the world, currently controlling over 600,000 Bitcoin. They're also making big moves too, wanting to transfer, or I guess the proper word would be convert, their product into a spot Bitcoin ETF. So here's the latest with Grayscale and their ETF. The United States Court of Appeals issued the mandate following a decision requiring Grayscale Investments' application for the spot Bitcoin ETF to be reviewed by the SEC. Come on, Gensler, bring it, baby. On an October 23rd filing in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, the formal mandate of the court took effect, paving the way for the SEC to review its decision on Grayscale spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, the mandate followed the court's initial ruling on August 29th and the SEC's failure to present an appeal by October 13th. So they're no longer arguing and trying to appeal it. They're accepting it. That's why we all know the ETF is inevitable, fam. The October 23rd mandate reaffirmed the court's August 29th ruling, giving Grayscale a second chance at converting its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust product, better known as GBTC, into a listed spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, to date, the SEC has yet to approve a single spot crypto ETF or listing on U.S. exchanges, but has given the green light to investment vehicles linked to both Bitcoin and Ether futures. October 19th, Grayscale registration statement of the SEC lists shares in the Bitcoin Trust, as I pointed out a little earlier. So there we have it, fam. Let me know if you feel Grayscale may potentially get that green light first, considering they're already holding on to the underlying asset, being the largest hodler in the world. Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And before we dive into our breaking story of the day, I want to give a quick shout out to everyone in our live chat for taking the time to interact. Much love and much respect. Shout out to all the new subscribers of the show. I appreciate you, Shako Gibson. Much love to Crypto Mo and all the fam. Shout out to Jack Jeong. I didn't want to wait like Gareth Soloway. I feel sorry for the perma bears right now. We got Soloway, we got Data Dash. They've been calling 10,000 Bitcoin, all-time lows incoming. And guess what? The bears are in hibernation mode or dead at this point. What do you guys think? You know what I mean? Subscribe to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Thanks for the reminder, Streamlabs. I appreciate that very much. Shout out to Relaxing. I appreciate all of your support, fam. And shout out to the rest of the crypto crew. Ambrosia, what it do? Thanks for tuning in live. I appreciate the daily support on the regular. Shout out to Bad Sunshine, Crypto Say, Garrett Soloway. You guys got jokes. I love it. Keep them coming. Yeah, Cushy, what it do? Welcome, Kirby. Welcome, Chris Minka. I appreciate all the love and support. Who mentioned BitBud? Still waiting for that 12K prediction. Yeah, the perma bears. They're relentless, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Shout out to Squirrel Bait. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Mac A. What up, Subby? Off-road, what it do? Ron P in the building. Grant Dunn, I appreciate you guys. Love your show, man. Bitcoin to the moon. Send it and let's freaking go. Let's see if we can simulate the pump from yesterday, because when we were pumping, we hit new annual highs and we started continuously pumping. If we can pump the 40,000 during today's live stream and the Q&A, woo! I'm so freaking ready for that. If you'd love to see that, let me know. Shout out to Chris Minka. Shout out to JA Digital. Welcome, Kyle. I appreciate you tuning in, fam. Just see charges BlackRock for failing to disclose the Oh, the SEC is charging BlackRock. That's interesting, right? Everyone in the NYAG suit against Digital Currency Group and Barry Silbert, Grayscale, will they get the approval? Well, that's the million-dollar question. Shout out to JK. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the continued support. Much love and much respect. You know what I mean? And you already know, after this live stream ends, the after party uncensored will commence on Rumble. You can see the Rumble chat now on your screen. So we're getting ready over on Rumble. So make sure you're following me on Rumble. We just smashed 1,000 followers a little earlier in the day, which I'm pretty proud of. And we're heading towards 100,000. Let's make it happen. And with that being shared, fam, now let's break down our breaking story of the day. And that's BlackRock predicting the Bitcoin price tsunami incoming, which can take the price action above and beyond 10x. I'm just being extremely conservative, but literally send the Bitcoin price action to $1 million per coin. So let's break this baby down, shall we? Massive shout out again to everyone in our live chat. Now, analyst from Invest Answers, he shares that the investing giants, which include Fidelity Investments, Charles Schwab, Citadel, Deutsche Bank, BlackRock, Nomura, and Franklin Templeton collectively have $25.22 trillion in assets under management. That's no joke. And here's the breakdown here. BlackRock controls 10 trillion. Well, Charles Schwab controls 7 trillion. They're almost as large as BlackRock. Isn't that wild? All these trillion-dollar asset managers. And then we have Fidelity controlling $4.5 trillion. So again, big money right here. Deutsche Bank controls 1 trillion, Citadel a $0.5 trillion, Nomura 0.7 trillion, Franklin Templeton 1.4 trillion. So if you add all of that up, that's over 25 trillion in assets under management. So according to the analysts, if these 7 Wall Street firms allocate just a 0.5 percentage point to their assets under management into the spot Bitcoin ETFs, just in the first year after the April 2024 Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin can surge by approximately 3,200% from the current levels in less than half a decade. Quoting him here, if the Wall Street giants allocate only a 0.5% of their assets under management, that many believe they will probably do very easily. In fact, if I was a betting man, I think they are probably more likely to maybe put 2 to 5% of their total assets under management into Bitcoin. So again, these projections are extremely conservative. We're just speculating, just inserting a 0.5 percentage of their total assets under management into the King crypto and where this will take us. Now, he also says, especially with the connections of pension funds, etc., that need some type of alpha to dig their pension funds out of their hole, or else they're just going to get backward and become defunct. This is the assumption that just a 0.5% of these assets under management goes into the first year from April 2024 all the way up. If this happens just for that first year, demand will spike the price of Bitcoin by April 2028. And again, assuming that just a 0.5% allocation happens that first year and another 0.5% the second year, etc., that will take us to the price of $920,000 per Bitcoin in the year April 2028. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst. And it's basically Cathie Wood's prediction, but 2 years earlier than anticipated. I know that's potential. And when the Wall Street giants start buying Bitcoin, should the spot ETFs get the green light? Here's what the analyst says. One of the senior executives from BlackRock said they will get that spot ETF in the next 3 to 6 months. Send it. And as I've said, it has to be before the halving. BlackRock doesn't want to come in after the halving. They know that's when the fireworks go off. Preach. Now quoting Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, who recently shared this on Fox News, this rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism, and I think there's more people running into a flight. The quality, whether that's in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending upon how you think about it, and I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. Now, Larry clearly means Bitcoin was just using the word crypto when he was interviewed on the news, because he said he had to be very careful what he says, considering they're on the verge of launching their spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, here's another analyst who's projecting the Bitcoin price to hit $1 million. Check this out. Main takeaway of today, the Bitcoin market cap went up by more than $50 billion in minutes, and very likely the money is flowing into Bitcoin where less than 500 million with a ratio of 100 to 1. Now, the former BlackRock director said we can expect $150 to $200 billion flowing into Bitcoin in the next 3 years after the Bitcoin ETFs are finally approved. So keeping the same ratio with $200 billion, we could have a market cap of 21 trillion with the Bitcoin price north of $1 million. Surely on the way up, there will be many people selling, but this is already directionally clear how much could be the effect of the Bitcoin ETFs being approved. So there you have it. Let's freaking go. We all know spot Bitcoin ETF incoming. Nothing can stop it, including the chairman of the SEC, Gary Gensler. So take that. Let's freaking go. Now, welcome everyone just joining us. This is our live Q&A session. Let me know your thoughts with all the news I shared today, the BlackRock ETFs, the Grayscale conversion to an ETF, all the bullishness. Holla at your boy. Shout out to McLovin. Shout out to Will Stopson versus Guru, JA Digital. What it do, fam? Greedy Savvy 1. Much love. Shout out to the mods once again. That sounds practical. Nice buy. Word. What a time. It is. Exciting time to be alive in crypto, isn't it? Little Germ, welcome. He says, boom, chica, wow, wow, you rock, JV. I appreciate you, Little Germ. That's right. This is pod episode number 1440. Never sell your Bitcoin. Wise words coming from Ron P. I appreciate your sage advice and thanks for your continued support. Much love, much respect. Big Boss Ben, what it do? We going back to all-time highs and more. You already know. Shout out to Big Boss Ben. I appreciate you. Doug Joseph, what up? Welcome, fam. Appreciate you tuning in, supporting the movement. Let's get it. Helen, careful. It is a bit touchy there. And that's right. Streamlabs is a moderator. So mods, no need to mod the mod. Streamlabs is the software I'm using to stream live right now. They also have a moderator feature for the chat. Hence, when you see them, that's all by design. It is what it is. Shout out to Melda the Witch. Alex lost his keys in a boating accident with his guns. It happens to the best of us, Squirrel Bait. I mean, what are you going to do? Massive shout out to Alex Jones. I mean, that's going to be a lit interview. Putting Max Kaiser and Alex Jones together on the same video in the same room. Count me in. Two of my favorite peeps together at the same time. Elo Bitcoin fam, let's freaking go. Max is Poppy, sure is. What up, Helen? It's good to see you, fam. OTC, over the counter, you already know. I believe the industries are buying OTC. It seems to be that way, hence the pumpage. Yep. A lot of new faces in the chat room. Just another signal for the bull run. Definitely a good sign when we get our chat and views at all-time highs. That's a sign of the bull, 100%. Smash that like button to help support the channel. And if you're new, again, subscribe and you'll get a shout out live on the screen to get some recognition. I appreciate all the support we can get. Not new, just never catch live. Been buying since June of 2017. Shout out to Subi off X Road. Congratulations on stacking them stats. And I appreciate you tuning into the show live for the first time. And hopefully you're enjoying the live experience because there's nothing like being live, right? So appreciate all you guys. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Got my morning paper. Candles have been lit. Ate 2 large burritos last night. Word. Setting is the perfect for the upcoming dump, says Mact C. So are you an anti-Bitcoin guy or just curious because you're looking forward to a dump, unlike everyone else in the chat? You know what I mean? What up, guys? Yes, relaxing. What it do? Appreciate y'all. All good. I needed to laugh. I am sorry. It is what it is. Coinbase and Gemini. Okay. Trusted exchanges, says Jeff. Coinbase being the largest exchange in the United States. Another great one is Kraken, which has the lowest fees in the United States in comparison to all the other crypto exchanges out there. Shout out to Cushy. What it do? Soloway has probably deleted his X account by now. The bears are in hibernation mode. For real, for real. Bad Sunshine, what it do? No thumbs up, please. You are abusing the system. I don't know who we're referring to. If anyone's taking advantage of the chat there, it's all good, guys. Looking sharp, JV. Thank you, Andy Surfer. I appreciate it. I honestly thought in anywhere in the 20s would be a good ad. I just went all in at 26,150. Says Jack, I do feel it's okay. Still add early 30s. Word. Happy stacking. Just hodl for the long term. You know the rules of the game, right? The number one rule of Bitcoin is never sell. It's kind of like the number one rule of Fight Club, right? All they know is I don't want to buy near the all-time high, whatever that may be. I didn't want to wait like Garrett Soloway. Think of all the people who are listening to these perma-bear analysts who got misled. And they probably sold their bags anticipating a huge crash to 10,000, sub 10,000 Bitcoin. And now they're on the sidelines and Bitcoin is pumping to 40,000 and they just missed out on the opportunity of a lifetime. So be very careful about who you listen to. You know what I mean? When it comes to financial advice, here on Crypto News Alerts, I don't give financial advice. I just preach the holy gospel of Bitcoin. And I tell you the truth, Bitcoin is not get rich quick. You're not going to get rich overnight, that's for sure. But if you have a long-term perspective and you have the patience to hodl your investment over the long haul, 2 cycles or more, 8 years or longer. History has shown us just hodling 4 years or longer, you're guaranteed to be in the green. And hey, we can't anticipate the future price action, but we can study the past to determine where the future might go. And the future is looking bright as a mofo right now because it's FOMO, fear of missing out, like a mofo in real time as we approach 2024. What up, John Vercher? Appreciate you tuning in. Gabriel, what up? Bitcoin is going to save the world. You already know. Bitcoin represents peace and freedom, which is the opposite of fiat currency. And we all know that as a fact. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So yeah, stay humble and stack sats. You got that right, Tom Snyder. Job bless, Ron P. Appreciate the love. This just in. Grayscale has been approved for the ETF. Doing my part to pump Bitcoin. Breaking news. Grayscale approved for the ETF according to Jeff S. What are your sources, fam? Because that is major news and it needs to be shared. And that's a great reason to pump back above 35,000. So let's freaking go. Does this mean we will skyrocket? I hope so. Jimmy Fallon Shorts. I appreciate you tuning in. I tried to tell my family to buy Bitcoin when it was 13,000. No one listened. Shaking my head. That's right. There is a quote, you're not a prophet in your hometown. So even if you get something before the rest of your family, they're not going to take it serious because they knew you when you were a baby. It's just the nature of human beings. So, you know what I mean? We can't awaken the sheep, but what I like to say, we can nudge the sleeping lions. And that's what this is about, right? We can't convince someone to do something. You can lead a horse to water. You can't force the horse to drink the frickin' water, right? So you were preaching Bitcoin, your family didn't listen, their loss. Hopefully you followed your own intuition and you got your position and you're sitting pretty. And now you can say, I told you so. Why didn't you listen? And maybe next time they will listen to you, fam. I've been stacking since early 2021. Kind of wish I took profit October of 2021, but whatever. Says Greedy. No caps. Send it. Let's go. Kathy. You're referring to Kathy Wood there, Ambrosia? Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I mean, what a time. Yes, I wish I sold in October of 2021, but also come on. Next chance to sell crypto, bro. Great time to be alive. You already know. You know what I mean? Bitcoin's journey from the shadows to ETF spotlight proves one thing: innovate or become history. The crypto train waits for no one. Well said, Sammy L. Gol. I appreciate you tuning in, Sammy. Much love, much respect. Abel Gonzalez, let's go. 43,000. That's a great target. Send it. Bring it. I can't wait. Check out Bitcoin song by Pirate Mantra. I am Satoshi Nakamoto. We'll have to check that out. Free man. Looking forward to it. And another reminder, after the live stream ends on YouTube, if you didn't know, we stream live simultaneous on YouTube and Rumble. But when the YouTube stream ends, we all continue with the uncensored after party on Rumble. You'll notice my Rumble link on the screen in the chat, which is rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. I hope to see you all there. It's going to be lit, I promise you. Bears dump, the Bulls charge. 100%. What up, brother JV? Shout out to Monty W. Appreciate you. Smash that like. Great news. Thank you. You're very welcome, DCA. I appreciate you. Soloway is bullish now. No way. That's hard for me to believe. We could be at like $2 billion per coin. I can see Soloway. Trust me, guys, there's a CME gap at 20,000. We're going to sink a couple billion. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put it past them. Wait for the dump. Who says we're dumping? We're pumping. The shorts are getting wrecked like a mofo, and I'm loving it. I love this. Anytime is a good time to buy Bitcoin, especially if the analysts see a million coming. Exactly, Melda. Really put it into perspective here. You have a very finite, limited supply of Bitcoin. I mentioned it earlier. Less than 2 million on the exchanges. You have asset managers worth north of 25 trillion, all needing to hold on to the underlying asset. They want to buy as much as they could, but there's only so much available because the long-term hodlers are unwilling to depart with their precious Bitcoin. I think I read a statistic yesterday's show. Over, I forgot if it was 60 or even as high as 80% of hodlers haven't moved their Bitcoin in the past 6 months from their wallets. That means they're hodling, they're not looking to sell. And when you have a very finite, limited supply of Bitcoin even available on the exchanges, that equals supply shock. There's no way that these major asset managers can get the amount of Bitcoin they need without driving the price to the 6-figure range. It's virtually impossible. If they all start buying up Bitcoin, probably what's happening now, hence why the price is pumping, what happens? Numbers go up. Hence why its number go up technology. Bitcoin is perfect money. It's pristine collateral. It's incorruptible. You know what I mean? It's unconfiscatable. It has an escape velocity, and it seems we have reached that already versus the US dollar. Bitcoin has no top, as fiat crap has no bottom. Fiat crap is ish. The ultimate ish coin is the US dollar, right? How do you hedge against the US dollar? Bitcoin. What's the solution? Where do you park all of your money? Bitcoin. Where's the safest place to park your money? Bitcoin. What's the fastest horse in the race with the least risk? Bitcoin. Is there any alternative to Bitcoin? Nope. What's your second best crypto pick? What did Michael Saylor say? There is no second best. You got Bitcoin, and then there's Bitcoin, right? So listen to Michael Saylor. You already know, fam. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you. What up, Sammy? What it do? Chris Minka in the building. What up, guys? Much love, much respect. Yeah, I love this stuff. I live for this. Ambrosia, they still think we landed on the moon. They sure do. LOL. 0.1 Bitcoin current value, 4,000 will be worth a fortune in 10 years. Preach. That's why we've got to have that long-term perspective, fam. You already know. ETF in the pocket, eyes on the 2024 halving. For Bitcoin, it's all gas, no brakes, hodl, and enjoy the ride. And we're fast approaching 420 people, concurrent viewers on the live stream on YouTube. Let's freaking go. Taking hits from that hopium bong as we do each and every day here on the show. That's what's up. I appreciate you guys. And when you smash that like and subscribe, it's only going to get more eyeballs on the show. Let's get this baby to 500 and let's pump this mofo to 42,000. What do you guys think? Let's make it happen. Yeah. Bonafide forever. 12 years on this journey, seen the highs, the lows. The highs are better. Congratulations, Bonnie. That means you're an early adopter of Bitcoin and a true OG. For you to get involved 12 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, but that means Bitcoin was only a pup at 2 years old. Holy moly. Could you imagine getting started in Bitcoin in 2011? Well, it sounds like you just did, Bonnie. So massive congratulations. That's major. We got a lot of Bitcoin OGs in the building. Much love, much respect. Thanks for paving the way and showing us all what's possible. What up, Stephen Minton? I appreciate you. He says, let's freaking go. Smash. Thank you, Thomas Post. Appreciate that a lot. You're awesome. Much love, much respect. Yeah, Chris, I got 2 generation plan. Word up. Let's freaking go. Let's get it. Keep stacking them stats like there is no tomorrow. You know the game. Never look back, and don't trade your Bitcoin for ish coins. That's part of the Bitcoin game. You never trade your Bitcoin for the ish coins unless you're willing to risk losing it all, because ultimately altcoins are a gamble. It's like heading to the casino, going on roulette. Yo, I'm feeling a little confident today. I'm feeling my luck. I'm going to put all of this Bitcoin on black. And then what happens? You know what I mean? Maybe you're even like, I got all my bases covered. I'm going to put 50% of my Bitcoin on black, 50% of my Bitcoin on red, and then you spin the roulette wheel, 00 in the fucking green, you lose it all. Holy crap, how did this happen to me? It happens, fam. I shared yesterday in one of my JV React sessions, Jordan Belfort lost $300,000 in Bitcoin. Not Bitcoin, my bad. This was in Ethereum, I guess, because it was on the MetaMask wallet, and that's an ERC20 wallet. We also discussed KSI losing hundreds of thousands of dollars of his cryptocurrency by putting it into Terra/Luna. And then it may even have been millions of dollars, my bad. I think it was like $2-3 million. So newbies, it's very easy. You see your favorite ish coin or meme coin pumping, and you're like, I don't want to miss out on that. Look, it's up 20,000% for the year. Holy moly. And then what happens as soon as you put your money in the project? The rug gets pulled and you lose everything. It crashes to zero. And then you wish you would have just gotten right with Satoshi and hodled your bag of BTC. And then you live with regret. Then the next Bitcoin cycle, you learn your lesson and become a Bitcoin maxi. That seems to be the pattern with a lot of newbies in the crypto space. Don't let it happen to you. I'm telling you, because I see this all the time. I've been doing this since 2017, right? The cycle of 2016 was epic. In 2017, we pumped to the all-time high back then of 20,000. Then Like clockwork, 4 years after the 2016 halving in 2020, the next bull cycle occurred, and we pumped all the way down from the crash of COVID in 2020 all the way up to 69,000 in November of 2021. And in fact, within a 60-day period in 2021, we pumped from 16,000 to 69,000 all-time high within 60 days. So just imagine how fast Bitcoin can pump with the God candle, taking us to new all-time highs off the back of this ETF news, the Bitcoin halving news, the supply shock news. There's just so many bullish catalysts in the market right now. How can you be a perma bear? Makes no freaking sense unless you're being paid by the United States government to mislead investors like Jim freaking Cramer. What did he say 10 days ago on television? Mr. Bitcoin is going down. Take your money out of Bitcoin. Mr. Bitcoin's going down. Guess what, Mr. Cramer? Bitcoin's up over 30% over the past 10 days since you bashed it, mofo. Inverse Cramer signals in full effect. You know what I mean? Bitcoin's now up over 100% on the year. October in full freaking effect, right? So take that, perma bears. I'm getting pumped up, guys. You feel it? Sure, I'd take a penny a sat too. Penny a sat, send it. I'll be happy with that, says Satwise. Word up. Jason says, bite the bullet. Let's go. Bah, 2 years ago, that was me, says Baller Bill. DCA, you already know Jason James. That's the name of the game. I wish Bitcoin would crash so I can buy, says everybody. But you got to have the foresight to buy it when it is crashed and have the foresight to hold it, right? And not let go of it. And that's what a lot of people can't do. They don't have the patience of a monk. If you can have the patience of a nun or a monk, you're golden in crypto. I think that's why I succeed so well. I'm patient to do nothing, right? It's the hardest thing to do for most investors, but for me, it comes naturally. Do nothing, just hold it. Keep stacking, add to your bag. 1 Bitcoin's always going to be equivalent to 1 Bitcoin. I don't really care. I'm not so concerned about the dollar amount because I'm in it for the long haul. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. JV about to slap Cramer. If I saw Cramer in real life right now, I don't know what I would do. It's best for his own safety. I'm nowhere near that man because I just hate people who are dishonest. You know what I mean? People with no ethics. People who don't care about harming other people, because clearly Cramer's there to mislead the public to get wrecked, from stock markets to Bitcoin to cryptocurrency. Every freaking thing the guy recommends crashes and goes to zero. Everything he says is going to crash and go to zero, pumps to the moon. He's like Nancy Pelosi. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Bob Saget moves, says Jeff. Didn't Bob Saget die? Rest in peace, Bob Saget. What about a priest? Well, shout out to the high priest, the one and only, Bitcoin Maxi, Max Kaiser. I understand what you're saying. The patience of a priest, I don't know. How patient are priests? I'm just saying, Shaolin monks have patience, right? All I'm saying. If you're wanting a crash, you won't buy because it's always going to go lower. You will miss out because you will time it wrong. Amen, Chris. That may be comment of the day because it's the truth. And shout out to Dawi. I appreciate you tuning in and subscribing. Much love, much respect. There's not enough volume. There is still a risk, says Nazar. Cushy says, was a true alt season pre-2020. Got a feeling the alts won't shine, but for a while, Bitcoin, ETH, takes the spotlight mostly for the next decade. It does seem to be this way. 420 people live. Happy 420 fam. Let's freaking go. Abel Gonzalez, buy another 1,000. That's right. Everyone right now, buy some Satoshis. Thank me in 10 years. Go ahead. Even though it's 33,000, who cares, right? If you have the money to do so and you have the investment to do so, you know what I mean? You're not dependent upon that money to feed the family or to pay the bills, to put food on the table, and you know it's for a long-term investment. Now is the time. Stack sats, right? We're still able to buy Bitcoin at more than a 50% discount from the top. 69,000, we're nowhere near, and people are FOMOing at 30,000. They seem to forget we were at 69 less than 2 years ago. They're FOMOing in at 30 freaking thousand. How crazy is that? Will it go to 40,000? Very likely, Jimmy. When? Nobody knows. What's your guess? Cryptic Sniper, welcome, fam. I've got so many freaking bags, it's ridiculous. Let's freaking go. Shout out to Black Swan, the Dawn. Let's freaking go. Coinfather, there is no risk in buying Bitcoin and holding forever. Well said, Coinfather. Thank you, fam. Shout out to the Coinfather. Shout out to MD Shaid for subscribing to the live show. I appreciate the support as always. And I know this baby is still pumping. More and more people are coming to the stream, but it's that time. We're going to switch on over to Rumble for uncensored crypto news alerts, as well as my JV React session. If you don't know, we're live every day on Rumble, simultaneously streaming on YouTube. But unfortunately, I got to be very careful with what I share over here on YouTube because of censorship being very real. Whereas on Rumble, it's uncensored. I can say anything I want, and I think a lot of you appreciate that. So if you want to attend uncensored JV live Q&A, crypto news alerts right now, head on over to Rumble and let's frickin' Rumble rant, shall we? Thank you everyone on YouTube for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Deuces. All right, everyone, we're going to commence here now on